I'm Ed Robinson, unemployed.
I'm going to have to let you go.
Divorced. And living in my aunt's flat in Bermondsey. I'm not related to any of the famous Robinsons, but I am related to George Robinson, my older brother.
You turd. I'm not a turd.
He's a time management consultant.
Organisation,
And that's Vicky, my interior designer sister, who's a bit of a perfectionist.
I'd like 2 tickets for tonight, please. Well, who's got the seats in front of me? Was it someone with an especially big head or an afro?
I'm sorry,
And I don't want any old people near me with whistling hearing aids.
With the fruit of the loins of my happily married parents.
Oh, get out!
So, that's us. We're just an ordinary family, really.
And we commend to you, Lord, the soul of Edmund Robinson, explorer, adventurer, pioneer, philanthropist.
Of all the Robinson clan, Great Uncle Edmund was definitely my favourite.
Founder of many charitable institutions, a tireless campaigner on behalf of minority groups everywhere.
He was just a really nice bloke, and incredibly generous.
He opened his house to the homeless of West London, and in later life donated his own legs to amputees in a Calcutta orphanage.
He'd only just got back from Calcutta when I met him for the first time.
Good God! Where are Edmund's legs?
Hello! Hello, kids! Who's for a toffee apple?
Toffee apples? Edward, no!
I'd cracked his skull in 2 places. But even though from that day his forehead bore the imprint of a Rover 2000 door handle, he was very grateful for our ill-fated first meeting. Because it was in Basingstoke General Hospital he met nurse Sofia Kandinsky, who 5 years earlier had defected from the Soviet Union while competing in the International Scrabble Championships in Andover. 6 months after they'd met, they were married. The news of Great Uncle Edmund's death hit George particularly hard. Edmund was George's godfather. And it was from Edmund that George had developed his lifelong love of beekeeping and his fascination with their perfectly ordered ergonomic social structure.
Down a bit. That's right.
Thank you for coming.
Is it true what happened?
Yes, the bees, they just turned on him. His wheels got clogged up in the long grass. He just couldn't escape this worm in time. His last pot. I know he would have wanted you to have it.
Why are you crying?
So sad.
Peter, you didn't know him. You never even met him.
I know. To see these people so miserable.
Please stop sobbing.
And his wife, she's so brave.
Oh, God, I need a drink. Why am I going out with him?
Because he took you to the Seychelles?
I mean, I fancied him for a while. He's reasonably competent in bed, but now he just gets on my tits. He's boring, self-piteous, pompous, juvenile, arrogant and stupid.
So why don't you just stop seeing him then?
I need a boyfriend, Ed.
Yeah, but isn't the idea that you should have some feelings towards said boyfriend?
Not necessarily. While I'm waiting for Mr. Right to come along, I'm not going to be single, thank you very much. That would be too desperate for words.
I'm single.
Exactly. Oh, no, you're right, he's got to go. I mean, I'm Vicky Robinson, for God's sake. I'm entitled to the best.
In a hurry, are you?
Sorry?
I saw you looking at your watch during the service.
Yeah, I was just looking at the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Weren't they putting you in the ground fast enough for you?
I've got a job interview at 4.
Oh, I'm very glad you could make it. Nice of you to fit us into your schedule. It's only my godfather we're burying here.
What's the job?
Insurance.
I thought you did reinsurance.
I can do both.
Have you prepared?
What?
Have you prepared for the interview?
Yes!
So, Ed, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm 5'8". Sort of stocky. Got kind of mousy coloured hair.
Yes, we can see that.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'm not really used to interviews. I've been employed.
Of course. What I'm trying to say is, how would you describe your personality?
I couldn't give them an answer.
Well, it's not that difficult a question.
It is for me. I'm 32 years old and I don't know who I am.
That lavatory's not flushing properly.
Well, I told you to call a plumber.
Why is it always me who has to call the plumber?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you developed a fear of plumbers or something?
Sorry, I believe we were talking about me not knowing who I am.
Oh, I wouldn't bother with all that nonsense.
It's important. Do you know who you are?
Not interested.
You're not interested in who you are, in the thing that makes you uniquely you.
Not particularly.
What about you, Mum?
Well, I used to think I knew who I was, but then I met your father, and it all got confused.
Okay, so how would you describe me?
You're selfish.
How can you call your own son selfish?
You're the youngest. Youngest is always selfish.
He's not selfish.
I don't mind selfish.
Mum.
Oh, I don't know. You're kind.
So I'm selfish and kind.
You're also cautious. You're guarded about meeting people.
Rubbish. He's impulsive. Look at that strange girl he married.
How can I be cautious and impulsive?
Oh, Edward, this is all a bit tiresome.
Mum, I'm just looking for some clues here.
Well, there you are. You're tiresome.
What?
You get that from your father.
And small-minded. Get that from your mother.
I am not small-minded.
Ah, there's another one. You're touchy. Get that from your mother, too.
And petty, just like your father.
Okay, forget it. This is not helping.
Ungrateful. You're ungrateful.
Dad.
Yeah. Did you get the job?
No.
You're right.
Fine, just thinking about old Edmund. These are the photos of the first hive we started together.
Oh.
That's the queen bee. Valerie, we called her.
Right. It's a strange name for a queen.
Edmund thought her head looked a little bit like his cousin Valerie's.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Not me, I just took his word for it.
Yes.
That's another bee. One of the drones, I expect.
Right.
It's another bee.
Mm-hmm.
Another bee.
Another drone?
Probably. Another bee. Another bee. Two bees together.
Mm-hmm.
It's another bee. Another bee. Another bee.
Let's look at this properly tomorrow, darling. I don't feel I'm doing it justice tonight.
No, quite. Albert, what are you doing up, little fella?
You should be in bed, sweetheart.
Yes, school tomorrow. Early start, 0700 hours.
A dream.
Oh, dear. What about?
Uncle Edmund.
Oh, I shouldn't worry about him, Albert. He's sleeping now.
What's death?
Champagne! I love the taste of champagne. And I get a
trick out of you. Ah.
Thanks.
Can I come in?
Oh, all right.
You're a hard nut to crack.
What's the celebration?
We've been going out a month. You and me, baby.
Oh. Pink champagne?
What, don't you like it?
No.
Oh, silly Peter's got it wrong again. Silly, silly, silly Peter.
Yeah, listen, Peter.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying our time together, Vicky.
Are you?
Yeah, every moment we spend together, I feel this growing intimacy between us.
Peter, I don't want to see you anymore.
What?
I said I'd review our relationship when we got back from the Seychelles, and the thing is, I just don't think we're right for each other.
Well, I've worked on the sniffing.
I know, but it's simply not working.
All right, so you wait till we get back from the Seychelles to dump me.
No.
You got your free holiday and then you just dump me.
I didn't.
You let me spend $8,000 on a trip to paradise.
It really wasn't.
Fine wines, haute cuisine, and as much oral sex as my tongue would allow. Good God, I've only just got the feeling back in my jaw.
I don't think that's relevant, actually.
Oh, God.
Oh, come on, Peter, stop that.
I can't help it.
For God's sake, Peter, you're making a mess of my dolls!
Vicky, you're the most special, wonderful, amazing person I've ever met.
Well, you should get out more.
I love you, Vicky.
Well, you like listening to music?
Yeah, no, it's not what do I like, it's what am I like.
Oh, well, you're sort of medium height, sort of mouse-coloured hair.
No, I'm thinking more personality.
Your personality?
Yes.
Well, you're, flexible.
Flexible?
Yeah, you fit in.
Okay, I've never actually seen myself like that.
And breezy.
Breezy?
Yeah, you sort of breeze in and out. In a very nice, breezy way.
So flexible and breezy?
Yeah. Can I unload the dishwasher
Please
now?
do.
I don't know why you're wasting your time with all this bollocks. They want to know how driven you are, what motivates you. They're not interested in you poncing about wallowing in all this self-indulgent, self-obsessed, self-centered namby-pamby, ooh, look at me, ooh, who am I stuff.
Would you know who you are?
Well, yes, of course I do, but that's not the point.
Who are you then?
None of your business. Ah, there you are, little fella. Now, put up a pew. Now, Albert, you were asking me about death. What is it? What is death? Is it the end? Well, some people think so. And these people are commonly known as... And they're given this moniker largely because they are... which means that they don't believe in God. Others, however, don't think it's the end. They think it's...
It seems I'm no closer to finding out who the real Ed Robinson is. I appear to be kind, selfish, cautious, impulsive, tiresome, small-minded, touchy, petty, ungrateful, flexible, breezy, and self-centered. Maybe I'm just different things to different people.
Ed Robinson?
Is he the sweaty one?
Yeah, I know him.
Ed Robinson?
The one with the greasy hair?
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
Stingy. Never leaves a tip.
In the sauna. Pale little body. Quite cute.
He usually orders a coffee and lemon finger.
Always has a cheese pasty.
£3.85 gives me £4.
Got it. Taught him in 83. Pudgy face.
Not much body hair. Does he shave his chest?
Always rearranging himself.
Charmless little turd.
Keep the change. Like he's royalty or something.
Marine insurance.
Wanker.
Serves him right.
Yeah, I'd fuck him. But I'd have to be desperate.
I'm getting confused now. No idea who I am. I'm too many things.
So, what do you think I should do about Peter?
Oh, dump him now.
Yeah.
Don't know what's holding you back. He's boring, self-piteous, juvenile, arrogant, stupid. You can do better than him.
No. I'll give him another chance.
What?
He told me he loved me.
Oh, that is such cock.
He said I was the most amazing, special person in the world.
That's more cock.
And I don't mind the crying anymore. I used to think it was undignified and pathetic, but actually, that kind of sensitivity is rather attractive.
Vicky, what is the point of these discussions if you're never going to take my advice? I'm off. Got to think about my interview tomorrow.
Insurance or reinsurance?
Marine reinsurance.
Isn't that what you did before?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like it.
I don't.
Has Albert gone off?
Yeah, it's just one of his funny dreams. So I read him another chapter of Peter Pan. Utterly ludicrous, of course.
Why?
Well, the children have got a dog for a nanny.
Well, George, it's just a story.
Well, it still has to be credible. Once they go off to Neverland, that's the fantasy bit, so the stuff in London has to be believable, and frankly it isn't.
Yeah, but Albert loves the way Peter just flies away into the sky at the end, doesn't he?
Yes, but if he jumps off the garage roof trying to do the same thing, I'll be suing the estate of Mr. J.M. Barry. I thought it went pretty well earlier, don't you?
What's that?
My presentation for Albert.
Yeah, I think he struggled a bit with the concept of reincarnation, but then he is only 6.
Well, the point is I've given him all the options, and it's up to him to decide now.
Yes.
I wonder which notion of death he'll choose. The optimistic view of life after death, or the idea that it's a black hole of nothing. A vast empty void into which we're all plunged for eternity. Never to return.
How would I describe myself? I'm glad you've asked me that question, because I've given it a lot of thought. The interesting thing about me is I'm a paradox. I'm modest but vain. I'm wise but foolish. I'm a mass of contradictions, a complex network of characteristics that don't seem to make sense, but actually define the uniqueness of me. You don't get a type when you get Ed Robinson. You get a real person.
Bastards!
Well, did they give you any indication of why you weren't suitable?
They said they were looking for someone less self-absorbed. Please don't answer that. We're talking about me.
Hello? Peter, what is it? Now, come on, keep it together, Peter. It's only a kettle. I know, but we can get another one, sweetie. No crying, sweetie, please. No, my darling. My darling. My darling. My darling. My darling. Yes, I'm sure they make the same model. Well, we'll get one similar. Okay, I'll do it now.
Where are you going?
I've got to get another kettle.
We haven't finished talking about my interview.
I can't keep my Peter waiting.
Oh, get rid of him!
What?
He's a twat, crying over a broken kettle.
Ed, it was his dead father's kettle.
It is a kettle!
You know, they were right. You are self-absorbed.
What?
Ed, I like the fact that we can chat to each other, but sometimes it would be nice if you had some other friends to talk to.
Unfortunately, most of my friends have moved on to other interests now.
Amazing, isn't it? You can see everything. Look, there's the nose, and there are the legs. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Tom.
Thanks. Being a father is the best thing that can ever happen to you.
You haven't seen my two for a couple of weeks, have you?
Oh. Were they breastfed or formula?
We breastfed. Sally would use the pump last thing at night so I could do the nighttime feed.
We tried the pump, but Judy's nipples got so cracked.
Have you tried coconut oil?
Tried everything.
Oh, here's a tip for you, Tom. Keep Caroline's placenta.
Makes a wonderful filling for omelettes.
Yeah. The poor bloke's dead. He just became obsessed with the idea of death. It's all he could ever think about. And now he's dead himself. Gone. Vanished. You know, he left a wife and small child. So cruel.
Oh, I tell you what, I was at death's door. I thought I was going to die at any minute. The doctor came out and said it was psychosomatic, but he was dead. Anyway, I dragged myself off my deathbed. Oh, I was dying to get out.
The next stop is Denton. Please alight here for...
Where is it?
It's nothing like it.
They didn't have exactly the same one, but this one's got a limescale-free element.
It's nothing like my father's kettle, my dead father's kettle.
Well, I tried.
Well, you didn't try hard enough, did you?
It has got a limescale-free element.
Look, this isn't working. You're not right for me. Fuck off.
What?
How clear do I have to make it? I'm dumping you.
You can't dump me. I'm Vicky Robinson.
Well, I just have. God, I should have done this ages ago. You just make me so miserable. I can't stop crying.
Look, Mitty, I tried to dump you twice and you talked me out of it.
Well, don't try talking me out of it because I've made my mind up.
So, Ed, tell us a bit about yourself.
I haven't got a clue, darling.
George. George, I can't sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. I mean, I might not be around much longer, but don't you worry. Just try and get your beauty sleep, all right?
What's the matter?
You do realise I could be taken from you just like that?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm going to die!
Yes?
Well, that's no good, is it?
Well, then, you've known that for some time, haven't you?
But it's a big, black nothingness out there.
Well, how do you know that? I mean, maybe there's a God and he's shining his torch.
Well, if there is a God, he's got a pretty sick sense of humour, hasn't he? Letting us all live in this morbid dread of what's going to happen after it's all over. I mean, he's sick, isn't he? You're sick, God, you're sick.
Oh, George.
I love this business. I'm ambitious, very motivated, and excited by the amazing changes that are afoot in the underrated world of insurance.
When can you start?
It was then that I realised who I was. A bloody good liar.
I'm miserable without you, Peter. I lie awake at night thinking about you. I can't work, I can't eat. My brain only processes one thought. Peter. Peter. Peter.
Look, it's very flattering.
I'd really like you to reconsider your decision about dumping me. If you give me another chance, I will really, really try to come up to the standards that you expect. Please, Peter.
Well, I suppose I was being a bit hasty. All right, let's give it another try.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We're back together.
Yeah.
Oh, just one more thing.
What?
You're dumped.
What?
You think you could dump Vicky Robinson? You're down and out, mate, on the floor. Dumped.
Fine. I mean, I've started seeing someone else anyway.
Bastard! That two-timing crybaby.
It's good. You can finally move on to getting a decent bloke.
There aren't any decent blokes. That's the trouble when you're still dating at my age. All the good ones have been snapped up by young, fertile nest builders.
Well, not all the good ones, surely. There must be people like me who come back on the market.
Oh, great. Second-hand goods, divorcees, commitment phobes, the sexually confused, the physically repellent.
All right. Anyway, did I tell you I got a job?
Reinsurance?
No, just straight insurance.
Is that harder or easier?
Depends on the person. I seem to have a knack for both.
I hear you got a job.
Yes.
That's wonderful. What is it?
Insurance.
I thought you were looking for a change.
I was.
Ah. So...
Mum, there's not much else I can do.
I hear you got a job!
Yes.
That's splendid! You're on your way at last. Oh, thank God you got out of insurance. I always thought you were wasting your life in that game.
Another thing, Dad. It's actually one of the most well-respected marine divisions in the entire insurance world.
No. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping it will be.
Marvellous. Well, there'll always be a place in this world for insurance.
Yeah.
Well, I must say it's lovely having a Sunday roast and catching up on all the news. So, Maggie's taken Albert to see Peter Pan on stage. George? You've barely said a word since you got here.
I've been thinking.
All you children seem to spend a lot of time thinking.
There's no point trying to achieve anything with your life. It's all going to end.
God.
All the Robinsons who've come before us, they're all dead. Uncle Edmund dead. Grandpa dead. Grandma dead. All dead. Everyone round this table, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. We're all going to die!
Could you pass a gravy?
So what's your news, Vicky?
I miss Peter.
Peter?
I've made a terrible mistake.
No, darling. You've got to forget him and move on. You don't want to get stuck with an unsuitable man. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yes, well, we're all going to be forgotten eventually.
We are here to commend... What was his name again? George, was it? It doesn't matter, he's dead now.
What's wrong, Daddy?
Albert, what are you doing up at this time? Not another bad dream, was it?
Into the toilet.
Yeah, very sensible.
Don't get bad dreams anymore.
Really? I'm glad our little chat helped.
Death's just like Peter Pan. Nothing to worry about. You'll just fly away into the sky.
We are here to commend Victoria Robinson, spinster, never married, unloved. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We are here to commend the soul of Edward Robinson. He worked in insurance. That's it.